episode of Branching Out with Sierra. Today we have a very special guest. I've been waiting for a while to get her in here, and then she came back up again as a recommendation from Rich Weller, our previous guest, and so I knew I had to get her in here to talk about connecting people and creating impact. She is always fighting for small business in our community, lifting people up, supporting them, encouraging them. I'm excited to dig into some of her background in leadership today. I know she has lots of great resources she's going to share, and I always want to make sure that you can figure out how you apply this no matter where you are. So keeping in mind that you don't need a title to lead. And that has been our mission from the very beginning, is taking leadership skills and applying them to everyday life. So no matter where you are and what you're doing, you can take what we're talking about in these episodes and apply them. And that's what we're going to be doing today, because she doesn't need a title right now. She created her own title in this community, and she's out advocating for small business. So thank you so much, Della, for being here today. I'm excited to
Good
finally
morning.
have you.
Good morning, Sierra. Nice to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you. I know that some of our listeners are outside the area. Most people in the area know you at this point, but can you introduce some of your background and what brought you up to where you are today here on this podcast?
I spent 45 years in the sales industry selling food. Musselman's Apple products are located in Pennsylvania with
Mhm.
7 facilities there. So I sold to national accounts
Okay.
and traveled extensively. So I've enjoyed the friendships and professional relationships with many people over the years. Loved it, and leadership is an evolving process. You just don't start there. You
Yeah.
you come through the ranks and learn why every aspect is important.
Hmm.
And that is a great asset to a good leader, because I'll quote John Maxwell right out of the gate. Uh, if you think you are leading and no one follows, you are just taking a walk.
Hmm.
So sometimes we are all walking,
Hmm.
but leadership and leaders don't just bring followers, they bring leaders. So
Yeah.
they're bringing them up with them to have a line of good succession. And that's probably the most gratifying thing about being a leader. And um, all the education and continued education that I was fortunate enough to have, I have appreciated it, and it has helped me. But there's nothing like the personal relationship that you gain and the knowledge that you have and that you can share to enable people
Yeah.
to be successful themselves. So that's the capsulated background. I don't need to go into all that because this is where I am now,
Mm-hmm.
and I love where I am now
Yeah.
locally.
Yeah, you're making a real impact. I'm trying to remember when we first met. Was it at Women of
It
Winchester?
was,
I think
yes.
so.
And I believe you had spoken there. You had been several times, and you may have sat at the I call it the newbie table. I welcome new people at my table, I guess, because I'm not afraid of introductions, and I
Hmm.
try to have people there that can be new and comfortable with others feeling the same way. But then you spoke to us, which was just filling us with what we needed at that moment. And I am a real believer in that when we are poured into and our cup is full, and not just full, but running over, then we can share that where we need to. And
Hmm.
I enjoyed that very much, and we've stayed in touch. Also, I was at your collaborative conference last
Yeah,
year.
Tri-State Leadership Summit.
Loved it. Yes. In fact, I've already bought my ticket.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I did jump for joy.
yeah,
I was very excited. I'm glad you're going to be coming back again. It's going to be such a great
good.
experience. We are very focused on elevating it this year. Last year was like trial run. And it worked, and I'm happy to see that the folks, the founders that really supported us last year, are
Good.
leaning into this yesterday and today, and we're seeing registrations roll in, so that means people did enjoy it and want to come back. So
Good.
thank you for your support.
You're
I'm glad to
welcome.
have you back.
And I'll be forwarding around because I think there's nothing like that recommendation that comes out where groups come together. And we
Yeah.
saw a lot of local people there last year, which was good. It had to be
Yeah.
gratifying for you too.
It was. It was cool to see all my people in the same
Yes.
spot because of those connections from PA down to here.
Hmm.
It's nice to see them all in one room because it's like I have these little bubbles, right? I have all my people in PA that I connect with, and then in the Maryland area, and then down here, and they're all together.
Good.
Yeah,
Well, I'm looking
so that
forward
was
to
great.
it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I am too. If your follow up moves slower than DMV traffic, it may be time for Work Smarter Digital. Work Smarter Digital gives small businesses a fully built, ready to run CRM sales system so you can stop wasting months setting up software and start following up tomorrow. This is your sign. Get the CRM. Get the system. Get moving. Visit WorkSmarterDigital.com to learn more and book a demo. That's WorkSmarterDigital.com. At some point, growth requires more than listening to a podcast. It requires structure, accountability, and someone who can challenge how you're thinking. That's where coaching comes in. Our one on one coaching is designed as a long term partnership focused on clarity, communication, and consistent execution over time. This isn't about quick fixes, it's intentional growth. If you're ready to go deeper, you can start by filling out the individual leadership interest form linked in the show notes. You can also learn more at sierralearnership.com. That's sierralearnership.com. This year's lineup brings real world experience from business, media, government, and leadership at the highest levels, including a former FBI chief of staff, high performing sales leaders, communication experts, and business strategists. This isn't theory, it's real leadership. Join us October 14th and secure your seat at thetSLS.com. That's thetSLS.com. I'm curious before we dig into some of this, when you first saw yourself as a leader.
Oh, a long time ago, I guess. In 1976, you probably weren't even born.
I wasn't.
No.
That's okay.
I attended my first national sales conference, and it
Mhm.
was in Philadelphia. And it was very new for me. And I had been talking with the clients years before that, but had not met anyone in person. And you know the value of meeting people in person
Mhm.
even for the first time.
Yeah.
Talking over the phone, you have your expectation of what they'll look like and who they are. And I realized at that point there were not many ladies in the room, in the whole room, with hundreds
Mm.
of exhibitors.
Wow.
Yes, and I was one. And believe me, at that point in my life, my bosses told me what to do, how to behave, what to
Mm.
say. But I had already been enabled with knowledge about the product, and really, when you're in that environment, they want to buy from people they like. There's a Jeffrey Gitomer for that.
Mhm.
They want to buy from people they like and people that know what they're selling.
Mm.
And I did know that. And then I realized this is what I can do.
Yeah.
I can influence the sale of the products, make continuing friendships and
Mhm.
professional relationships there for a very long time, because if you're
Mhm.
committed to the career, you can do that. And it's not, today's culture is not like that. It
No.
is a transient business society.
Mhm.
And I still have some friends that are in the business, the younger ones who are coming up. We talked about that. But it's not as it was. The relationships are now sometimes seen as favoritism. You know
Mm.
them too long, so you
Mhm.
give them favorites about products, or the supply and demand, cost, pricing, things like
Right.
that. But once upon a time, that was how relationships were. But I felt that I could be an influence and an impact. And mentoring to me through the years, and mentoring started in the 90s for me. And it has been an expansive career when you think of that. Yes. But I think mentoring is important too. And I've always loved that. If you give your knowledge away, you can get more.
Oh
If you give your
yeah.
smile away, it'll grow back. But you know, in the handshake, and I've always been one of these people, I, I can I can tell about a person from shaking their hand.
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
I gotta work on my handshake.
perfect. I can help you with that. Okay.
I hug. What can you tell about me by my hug?
I love the hugging. And for me in my career path now, that's good. But
Mhm.
once upon a time, being
Yeah.
a professional woman, I mean, you did
Yeah.
not do that unless you were invited home to dinner with the wife and kids,
Yeah.
which is good. But the handshake is something that you can tell from that moment, and looking people in the eye.
Mhm.
And these are old standbys about relationships.
Yeah.
So even today, when I see the four people I told you about that I had been involved in mentoring, I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of their demeanor. I'm proud of their conversation. I'm proud of their knowledge. I love their handshake, and that's something that you carry with you. And there are things that during the career will be more gratifying. Even the simple things like that,
Mhm.
just understanding their growth, and now they are mentoring. Now that is achievement.
Yeah.
So there you are.
Yeah.
Your
Passing
leader
it on.
produces a leader
Mhm.
who brings another leader.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Um, so for those who have never been a mentor before, I want to see mentorship through your eyes. So some of our listeners maybe haven't felt that they've had the opportunity to mentor someone. And I've come across people who say, I'm not qualified to mentor yet. I don't have anything to share, which we know isn't true. But what does it take to be a good mentor?
Actually, it's the mom that's taking care of the children at home.
Mm,
That is just critical. You are teaching your children manners,
mm-hmm.
relationships. And I have a little book that I bought, little golden books. Have you ever heard of those?
I have. Yeah.
Okay,
I have a lot of them.
here's a great one, and maybe you could Google and find it. But it said everything I needed to know about life I learned in kindergarten.
Oh, yep. I know that one.
Okay, that's the big thick one
Mm-hmm.
that gives you all the life lessons. But mentoring really starts at that baseline level, and that when that child becomes an adult that you're proud of. I'm proud of my son.
Mm-hmm.
He has good manners, he's smart, he treats people with respect, and you are mentoring.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if we're moving that, and I notice I didn't say elevate,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
When we're moving that relationship of mentoring from the home into business or
Mm-hmm.
everyday life,
Mm-hmm.
every time you go, did you say you had a Dunkin'?
Yeah. You
Okay, I,
know it.
I go there too. Every time that you appear alive and in person for that coffee, and I love Bro Bears.
Oh, yes.
You see me with
Yeah.
Bro Bears.
Yeah.
So every time that we move into another arena of personal relationships,
Mm-hmm.
the way I treat this person in service, they'll remember, they don't remember what you said. They don't remember what you did. They'll remember how you treated them. Isn't that an oldie but goodie?
Yes. It's so
It's
true.
so true. And I drive up to Bro Bears, like this is the most important thing for me at that moment, with the smile on the face, the joy, the
Mm-hmm.
anticipation. And that is contagious.
Oh, yes, it is.
And that is mentoring,
Mm-hmm.
because for the next person in line,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to shine through the person that I've just touched
Yeah.
for one moment. And that is not corny. That is just a
No.
practical application of being a mentor. So you're teaching your child to smile at home. You're
Mm-hmm.
teaching empathy for, Boo Boo Bunny. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody falls down and you get a Boo Boo Bunny, you're teaching empathy. You're teaching love
Yeah.
and understanding. So all of these things move forward. Anybody is a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone,
I'm,
whether
I'm
you're in the
glad that you said
you're
that.
in the grocery store, you're at
Mm-hmm.
at Handy Mart getting our Dunkin'. We're at Small Business Freedom Alliance, where
Mm-hmm.
people see me or anyone greeting a new member for the first time.
Yeah.
I am not afraid of cold calls. That was one of the things I could do well. Enable me with knowledge. I'm your cold call person.
That's good to know.
Shake your hand, look in the eye, okay,
Yeah.
and move on with the
Mm-hmm.
cold call. And I've done some recently. And it's very interesting. When I go from business to business, and I want to meet people I don't know
Mm-hmm.
and connect them to people that I do know.
Yeah.
And that's where you set up a little row of dominoes. My grandchildren love that. But that's a life lesson right there.
Mm-hmm.
kindness, and you flip that domino, and there it goes over and
That's
over again.
nice. Yeah.
So I went off in the rabbit hole like
No, no, it was all relevant. It's helpful for people I know to hear that they can mentor and make a difference right where you are. I I think it was the very first episode that I talked about my Duncan trip. Did you remember listening to that? I know you've listened to some of my episodes
yes.
before, but it was that Duncan experience.
Hmm.
And my hope was that people understood that it can be the most simple of, daily errand that you're running. When I go down to the bank, the interaction with, the person who's getting my funds out of my bank account, right? What
Yeah.
does that look like, and how can I make that a memorable experience for
Hmm.
them? um, so I'm glad you shared that. You have some resources there that you
Oh,
mentioned, and
yes.
one of them is new to me, so that one right there, tell us about that author and the types of things that he writes.
Jeffrey Gitomer is one of my favorite, I would call it inspirational self help business authors. And I gave this to myself in the airport. I wrote to myself.
Did you write to yourself?
Yes,
That's
there
awesome.
it
What's
is.
it say?
There
Tell
it
us what it
is.
says.
32106 to myself. To be great and God is really great. Now,
Aww.
yes, and I'm not sure why that sentiment is there, but I must have been having one of those days.
Yeah.
And this book talks about business principles in a very humorous, realistic way. And there are some here that will smack you in the face, but anyone that is selling, and it doesn't have to be a product,
Hmm.
it can be a service. It can be a service. You are representing yourself
Yeah, I
every
was gonna
moment.
say you're selling yourself.
When I get back, I'm getting this book for you. Please do not buy it. I want to give it to you.
Aww.
I have given away hundreds because this is so valuable. And the next time
Thank
I see you,
you.
I want to see that the spine is
It will
broken.
be broken. I will take it
Yes,
on one of my trips. It'll be my airplane reading.
that's what I did, and I read the whole thing
And
at
I'll
one.
write a note in it
I'll
too.
write you a note. Oh, and you can write under
I'll
there
write a
too.
note to myself.
And here's one. Now I just flipped open to this. Oh, I can't read that one on air. There we go. The less time you spend in other people's business, other people's problems, and other people's drama, the more time you will have on your own success.
Ooh,
Well,
this
Jeffrey
is
Gitomer is on
good.
LinkedIn, and he has, his little minute podcast, if you will.
Okay.
Look him up, like
Yeah,
him
I'll
on
look him
LinkedIn.
up.
I love LinkedIn for that, but you will enjoy this, and you'll have some dog-eared pages, as
Hmm.
I have, very relative,
Yeah.
and it's humorous, and you'll never look at red wine the same anymore.
Okay.
I'm not going to open that, but you'll love it. And secondly, I just have enjoyed over many years, probably 40 years, John Maxwell. And I picked this one up today because this is the one I'm reading again. And there's a dog-eared page. Oh, actually, you'll love this. Here it is: leaders and followers,
Uh-huh.
and then leaders and leaders. And we just talked about
We
that.
just talked about it.
We
That was
did.
meant to be.
And there's my little dog-eared page. So his books are inspiring and very practical, and I like
Mhm.
the practical application of knowledge and experience and something that I can relate to. And I've written and read government contracts, and let me tell you, it's no fun.
Hmm.
I don't want a contract read. I want a practical
Yeah.
application to my life read. And these two authors really fill the bill. And I enjoy Zig Ziglar, and I've actually gotten to see all of these people in person over all these years, and they're just as dynamic as their books,
Yeah.
which makes it more special. But these are my recommended reads, and I'll
Love
get.
it. We'll make sure to put a link in the show notes so people can check those out too. Um, did you know John just published a new book in the past couple of weeks? I think he's at like 125
Yes.
published books, which is insane to me because I'm having trouble getting started on my first one.
Oh yes. I know. It's so inspiring all the time.
Mhm.
I get his clips.
Yeah,
And aren't you John Maxwell
I
certified? Yeah.
am.
Please tell me about that. Now here we are.
Yes, yes. So, actually, I first heard about John Maxwell from a friend when I was on bed rest with my Lyme, and I didn't know what I was gonna do next because I knew I needed to make a change. A John Maxwell certified friend reached out and said, "Hey, I see your passion for growing people and helping people learn. you should really look at John Maxwell's certification program. And literally, that was the first time I had heard the name. Now I'm like, anybody I meet, you, what do you mean you haven't heard of John Maxwell? um, and I read the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. That was the first book that I read from him. And I felt connected to him through that reading because I've always been focused on growth my entire life. It's been all about growth. And someone kind of took what I had never expressed before and it was right in front of me in a book and it resonated so much. I was
Just
like,
for you.
man, yeah,
Yes.
it means so much. I can finally like put this stuff into words. And when I read that he said that everyone was a leader because leaders have influence and we all influence in some capacity, I was like, wow, I've been reading all along. So it just changed so much of my thinking. And so literally that day I read it. I was like, this resonates. The next day, I registered for his program to get certified, and I spent the whole rest of my bed rest learning every day from him. And as soon as I could walk and talk and got out of bed moving again, I decided to start the business and I went to his conference in Florida.
Aren't they fabulous?
They're
Yes, they
amazing.
are.
It's a amazing experience to be around that many
Hmm.
John Maxwell people at once. They're just great people. Everybody in that room is there to lift up other people, and it's nice to have that feeling. It's like being at Wow.
Hmm.
You know what
It
I
is,
mean?
and to be poured into,
Hmm.
and who
Yeah.
feeds the feeder?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
feeds the
Yeah,
feeder.
he does. He
Yes.
does. And he said that we were the legs to his legacy and he wanted to make sure that his work continued long after he was gone. And so I feel like I've learned from the best and it's been a great resource for me. So I always recommend his stuff. But yeah, we got practice with coaching. We had to coach one another at the event to kind of get
Hmm.
certified. Took a lot of different tests and had different requirements. But I now even like commuting, I listen to his stuff all the time. I listen to those that he has mentored for so many years who are now running his company. And it's just been a beautiful thing. So I need to get to another conference soon. They have them twice a year, and meet with some other John Maxwell folks. But I'm glad that you brought him today.
Oh, yes.
Um, and I have a new one to research, Jeffrey Gitomer. So pulling it back into this shift from you and corporate leadership to now your focus in the community and connecting people in this community. What did that shift look like? Did you just wake up one day and say, okay, my time in corporate leadership has ended here. What am I going to do next? I'm going to connect people in the community. What did it look like? I just want to understand the transition.
Well, I can tell you about the day.
Okay, let's hear it.
Uh, on on November the 15th, 2000, I believe it was 14 or 13, was my last day at Nels Foods Musselman's, and I loved every day of my job. Every day I loved it. But my little grandson was 6 months old, and his mother was going back to work, and I offered to watch him. And I was watching him actually before that, just a little bit in my office. The
Mhm.
crib was in my office. And so I went pretty much cold turkey. I was working up until the day that the office door closed.
Wow.
And he was there, such a joy. You talk about they learn from you.
Mhm.
There's your mentoring. There's your mentoring.
Mhm.
There's your influence. They learn from you. And so I would have him, and we would be able. He was born in March, and so by that time we were able to get around a little bit, and so I would take him and we would go downtown because I had worked out of Winchester for so long, flying everywhere. Sidebar: I've been in 49 of 50 states.
Oh, wow. Which one haven't you been to?
Alaska.
Okay. Well, we need to make that happen.
We were going there, and they closed the government closed everything down. That week I was on my way to pay for the land sea air.
Oh, no.
Yes, and we just haven't readdressed it.
Yeah.
So so during that time, I would take him downtown in his stroller, which I rode very fast. He loved that, but rolling fast on the stroller downtown, and I'm looking all around, and I'm looking up and seeing the beautiful architecture of the town. If you haven't done that,
Mhm.
walk downtown and
Mhm.
look up.
Yeah. It is beautiful.
It is very beautiful. And so we would stop into shops, And again, now I haven't been local. I was born and raised here, but
Yeah.
I had not really been involved
Mhm.
except for church. And so we would walk in, and there's nothing like an adorable little blonde haired, blue eyed kid in a stroller looking all around. And so we started doing that regularly.
Okay.
And we would be very well received. And as I said before, I'm the cold call person. I mean, I can go in, hi, my
Mhm.
name is Della DeHaven. Okay. And I'm here with my grandson, and we're on the mall today. And business owners came out, and people came out to greet us. And soon they knew who we were. And I'm
Mhm.
thinking, always thinking, I could do that.
Yeah.
I could use that and be involved. And then my sweet friends, Jackie Shoemaker, invited me, you know her,
Mhm.
to Women of Winchester. I sat at a round table with people, and that was shortly after that. I think I've been at Women of Winchester maybe 10 years now. Blink.
Yeah.
And um, I love this. I don't know anybody,
Mhm.
and I love this. So we get to a table, and it comes around, and everyone is saying what they're doing. And they say, what do you do? And I go, I am not gainfully employed anymore. I run around downtown with my grandson,
Yeah.
visiting people.
Yeah.
And so one thing led to another. And, we talked about travel stories. I have a million of those, funny and not so funny. So I just started going every month. And you're right about that. It is encouraging,
Mhm.
uplifting. I met friends. I sat at a different table every single time. And then I was fortunate enough to assist at registration because they needed someone. And I said, I can do that.
Yeah.
I got to meet people every month. That redundancy of, the
Mhm.
smile welcome to, wow, is this your first time? So I enjoy Meredith Hancock and our board. I am on the board. I believe now we figured out it was 6 years. So we are board driven, zero ego. We are all together, lovely. And so we plan for the community, we plan for success, we plan for relevance. And it is all those things.
Yeah.
Um, a shameless commercial. This month, Cynthia Snyder,
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
yes, will be with us.
That's great.
President of,
Tomorrow, right?
yes, tomorrow. So we're excited. That's a great part of my life. But that's how that started. It was like cold turkey, and then
Yeah.
I'm downtown always thinking because I have the attention span of a gnat. So while I was in business, there were so many things, three time zones, people everywhere,
Mhm.
and you just move in from one little opportunity to the next. I don't want to call them crisis because that's on the negative side. Opportunity is better, but then
Yeah.
you talk about how can I be relevant again because I was feeling not so relevant.
Mhm.
I knew that I was with being with my little grandson, which is just fabulous and still is. But we talk about being mentors and influencers. I was, and every friend, every mother, you have influenced people. You continue. Your conference last year was just a bold statement of where that came too quickly.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. I'm looking forward
Oh, thank
to
you.
the next one, but we're all relevant. That's how it got started.
I had no idea. I'd never heard that story. That is so
Most people
cool.
do
You
not know.
just you just showed up, started connecting, and here you are. I know that you're amazing at helping to kind of bring visibility to some of the amazing businesses in the community. I'm sure that's been fun to kind of get to know the people behind the scenes and
It
help
is.
promote them. What are some of the businesses that you've really enjoyed connecting with and promoting over the last, what has it been? How many years since
Oh,
you made this transition?
probably 10,
10
10 or
years.
more. Well, Patty Solenberger and I run around town visiting people.
Yeah.
Nobody's off limits if we know you. It, it's not off limits if we don't know you because we're going to go in and introduce ourselves. And on Tuesdays, Sabra Beach and I do Downtown Tuesday, and
Okay.
we visit businesses. Um, Most of all, to bring awareness. There are many small businesses in town that I didn't even know existed,
Mhm.
and some that are still sustaining themselves
Yeah.
through very hard times.
Mhm.
Some that are no longer there because of COVID. Some of the businesses, probably one of the most recent. Have you heard of Need Bread?
I have been watching them online.
Go there.
Yeah, I saw are they doing, like, daily videos of
They
what they
are.
have in there? I saw one this morning even.
Yes, and that is very clever marketing.
I think so
I
too.
like that, and coming from a sales and marketing background, I can appreciate the value of that, and it's free media for as
Mhm.
long. But their videos are nice. They're interesting. I've been in their shop several times and enjoy visiting there. We went to Victory Oil Change, which was on Valley Avenue,
Mm, mhm.
and that was really interesting too to find a small business who has a service to the community, a necessary one.
Yeah.
That was the most recent one too, and we visited with Tim Price there. But nonprofits also,
Mm, mhm.
and I just found a new nonprofit. And believe me, there are many local businesses. I could go on and on about local business, like on the mall. When we visited Nibblins,
Oh, yeah.
all right, we would go to Nibblins Snow White Grill, love that. Um, love Snow White Grill. I'm so glad when it opened again.
Mhm.
And then other businesses, mostly restaurants down on the mall now. Wilkins
Well,
Shoe
you
Center.
love food.
I do. She plays with food.
I always see that. Yep. Yep.
Yes, she plays with food. So I'm always on the lookout for that. Um, I would say the nonprofits have been the most rewarding in bringing awareness to necessary um, services,
Mhm.
like the Freedom Alliance for Veterans, which is in the Colonial Art and Craft Mansion, the Piccadilly Mansion House there for veteran services. And then a new one, which I just found out about last week, is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And this group, which is substantial and founded, is building beds for children who have no beds in the community. That
Oh,
I could not wrap my head around that.
yeah.
And I'm learning more about that as well. So they'll be our nonprofit for the Apple Blossom Shenandoah Apple Blossom Festival Prayer Brunch. There'll be a feature there too, and I'm involved in Apple Blossom, so that helps me in the community as well. But we go out of town to see businesses. The social collectives,
Mm.
great spot.
Mhm.
I have learned so much about local business and seeing people. So I just get around about town, and as I said, Um, I'm not afraid of a cold call or
Mhm.
a new acquaintance
Yeah.
for business. And that's another place where you tell me about your business. And I just got finished meeting, and they call it speed dating, where you move
Mhm.
from table to table. I just got done hearing about a company who needed your service. And I'm like, oh, come over here and meet my friend
Mhm.
who needs your service. And you connect people who will, make a great business relationship
Yeah.
using each other's service locally. And that's what it's about. Support local business. I am a small business advocate, and I am self proclaimed. And I've been putting off getting a card. I know what I want, but I just haven't had the time, forgive me, to do that. But people always say, do you have a card? And I'll say, well, here's my contact information. But still, I haven't done that.
Yeah, no, but I love that title. You arrived at a title that allows you to advocate and connect other people.
Mhm.
And doesn't that feel great to be able to find the solution to someone's problem? It's like a
Yes,
web, I feel like, in my head of, wait, I heard somebody that needs that. Who was
over
that?
here,
Yeah, exactly.
over here.
Yeah, over here, connecting people
Mhm.
for solutions.
Or you look back over your shoulder and you see them talking and exchanging business cards about their
Mm-hmm.
services. And see, that's where it's a success, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a handoff.
Yep.
It's not mine anymore. They've taken ownership to what they need
Mm-hmm.
and to what they have.
Yeah. Yeah, it's powerful. So, why is supporting small business so important to a thriving community?
Because if we don't support it, we won't have it.
Mm.
We will be overtaken by the people who are not investing in us locally.
Yeah.
And these are the people, local businesses, they're the people who support your soccer team, who support your little baseball, football, flag football
Hmm.
teams. They're the people who donate to the fire companies because the large companies have big budgets, but not for that.
Yeah, it's true.
And so when we support them, we're enabling them to give us support.
Mhm.
There's nothing like seeing you go out and you see all these little bumblebee soccer kids with a local business name on their shirts
Yeah.
because that's an investment and it comes right off the bottom line of the company who's supporting. And I'm aware of that. Having been in business, you see how much it comes right off the bottom line that, your return on investment either
Mhm.
isn't there or it's put off into another area of support. But it means a
Yeah.
lot to a local business.
Hmm. It sure does. I can definitely see that even like the bigger events that I'm doing and stuff, you wouldn't believe the smaller businesses who don't have that big of a budget are the ones that are investing in the things in their community. It happens so very often,
It
whereas the
does.
bigger budgets, they're looking at completely different issues sometimes. And yeah, those small businesses definitely power the community. And I was not aware of it until I left education. I feel like I was in my own little world when I was an educator. I thought I knew the community, that I was teaching in,
Hmm.
but until I was a small business owner myself, I don't think I realized what it took to keep a community going. So it's been a powerful experience for me to
It is
kind of
it's
see.
another dimension to your experience as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because when you're in that arena, then you
Hmm.
understand what it means to that small business.
Yeah.
Like I understand that from dealing with them.
Hmm.
Even a collaborative group that comes together, a group of small businesses that put their money together, make an impact
Hmm.
as a sponsor. And
Yeah.
believe me, if I'm helping do something with that, I'll come up with a name for you.
Hmm.
You'll be
Oh,
the
yeah.
director's circle. You'll be the president's circle. You'll be the the circle of impact. You'll be whatever it is, and you'll belong. You won't just be there. You will belong,
Hmm.
and that's what local business should feel.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm curious about something. There might be people listening to the podcast that are like, I'm already super busy. I'm engaged in my business. I don't know that I have the time to go out and do what Della's doing and advocate for people in the community. So, what do you think it looks like for people to apply what we're talking about today and the power of advocating for people and lifting them up? What does that look like looking back at your corporate career? What does that look like in action in our day to day?
First of all, everyone has an opportunity to support a local business, either through your business,
Hmm.
supporting another, or through your personal purchases.
Yeah.
And does it cost a little more? Sometimes it does.
Hmm.
But I look at that as an investment in my community.
Hmm.
That's something everybody can do.
Yeah.
Every business owner, every person can support local business. As far as being involved, top of Virginia Chamber, I love that. I can't go to everything, but I enjoy it when I do. The
Yeah.
networking is good. See a lot of friends, and also joining the civic organizations
Hmm.
to help a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's about what you can invest with time. Usually the money is there through fundraising.
Hmm.
So whether you can or cannot, you will know the answer to that.
Yeah.
But investing in your time is still an important investment. If you go I go to Women in Winchester, it's 2 hours
Hmm.
because I do the networking too.
Yeah.
But if I could only go for lunch, it would be from 12 to 1. You still meet people. Make it a point to sit at a different table each time, and you will know who people are in the community.
Yeah.
Bankers, realtors, motivational speakers, life coaches, um, many. It's diverse. And now we look around and we see our nonprofits coming as well,
Hmm.
which helps us understand what the community needs. I can't know everything,
Yeah.
but I can find out many things. And I have people who will drop me a note that I don't know and will say, I'm looking for this resource. Have you seen it? Have you heard of it?
Mm.
And even if I haven't, I will try to find out through the chamber, through Women in Winchester, use my resources to give an answer because if they've come to me as a resource, I want to be that.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like consistency has been key for you ever since you started connecting. Like, even just, with the stroller downtown, you were consistent, right? Showing up every day. And I feel like that consistency of showing up for people in any capacity is so rewarding,
It is.
but so important to lift others up. Your leads aren't ghosting you, you're ghosting them. Work Smarter Digital gives small businesses a fully built, ready to run CRM sales system so you can stop wasting months setting up software and start following up tomorrow. Don't leave your revenue hanging. Start working smarter today. Visit WorkSmarterDigital.com to learn more and book a demo. That's WorkSmarterDigital.com. If you're leading a team or organization, you've probably realized this. One training session doesn't change behavior. That's why at SLC, we design customized leadership development programs, not one time events. We work with organizations to build alignment, strengthen communication, and create leadership systems that actually stick. If your team is ready for something intentional, fill out our organizational interest survey linked in the show notes or visit sierralearnership.com. That's sierralearnership.com. If you're considering sending your team to something this year, the question isn't just will they enjoy it, it's will it change how they operate when they come back. TSLS is designed for that. Clarity, better decisions, stronger execution. Join us October 14th. Secure your seat at thetsls.com. That's thetsls.com. So I'm wondering if people within their organization maybe can't make it to an event and the only thing they can do is lift up people right in their own organization. What could that look like? Because I feel like you were an expert in that too. Mentoring right in your own organization. If you want to mentor someone else in your organization and maybe there's not a formal mentorship program, what do you encourage people to do to kind of get that relationship started?
Sometimes it will depend on your position within the company.
Yeah.
If you are working in a group, an accounting group, a sales group, a production group,
Hmm.
everybody has meetings now because you must.
Yeah, plenty of them.
Plenty of them. And so within those meetings, being a good listener is primary.
Hmm.
You will learn a lot from listening and not just speaking. And it's not the loudest person in the room. I would be the self-prescribed quiet power person. That's how I felt about myself. You go and listen because in those minutes before the meeting starts, you know, someone spilt coffee in the car.
Mm,
Somebody's baby threw up on the outfit, and you're trying to
mm,
either change it or wipe it off. We've all been there,
yeah.
and it's about encouraging people for the day
Hmm.
because a sour attitude begets a sour attitude,
Hmm.
and the smile lives on forever.
Yeah.
Not and a genuine attitude of being grateful and showing others where the good is in the day. And I used to say it even to myself. Some days you find your own joy. Not
Hmm.
every day is perfect.
Yeah.
And from the moment you start it, you know that it's not going to be. But where is it that day? And so it might be when the screen door slams on the way out the door. That may be your perfect joy moment. I mean, maybe we can wait for that. But I think influencing people would come in the meetings, genuine complimenting on a good job
Okay.
or a group effort.
Hmm.
No one, and I'm sure it's in all these self-help books I've read, which I love. No one great ever does anything great by themselves
Yeah.
because the tasks are big.
Mhm.
and everyone should have their area of expertise and to be proud.
Yeah.
There is a moment of doing a good job that's proud, not just a handoff of something that's been half done, which I would never tolerate that. I wouldn't do it and I didn't tolerate it.
Mhm.
So whenever you have a job well done, it should be spoken. This is a job well done. This is a collaborative effort. The group is to be commended.
Mhm.
And any correction should be done personally
Yeah,
and
behind the
and
scenes.
decide. And that is in a way uplifting too. That
Mhm.
I would care enough for you to bring you aside and say, how can we improve this process?
Yeah.
It needs improvement.
Yeah. How can we? I noticed you
We,
said
how
we.
can we? It's
Mhm.
always we. Or
Mhm.
am I giving you what you need to do your job?
Yeah.
Is there something that I need to do so that we can be successful in the group? And understanding that is part of leadership,
Mhm.
just like children. And I'll go back to that at the very primitive base of it. If you want your child to be potty trained, which is important, okay? How how can Gigi help you with that? What is it? Is it the sticker? Is it the Cheerios? Is what is it?
Mhm.
What is it? What motivates people?
I
And
like that. Figuring out what motivates them. You have to slow down and listen and ask
listening.
questions to figure out what the motivator is.
It's different for everyone. Not
Mhm.
everyone is the same, and that's good because it takes that collaboration together
Mhm.
as a group. I may not have your idea and you may not have mine, but the combined effort of those two produces the success path.
Yeah.
And that's it is. Your method might change, but your goal doesn't change.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, that's a good point. So you're always learning, you're always growing. I know this. So how has your perspective of leadership changed since you left the organization 10 years ago? Now you've been out in the community, you've been seeing things from a different perspective. What have you learned about leadership that you didn't know before?
When you own a small business, there are many people counting on you to be successful
Mm,
in many ways.
yeah.
And I'm involved in the community and I see that. So you're talking about people's lives, people's dreams, sustaining themselves
Hmm.
and their families. They count on you for that. And there are expenses that are uncontrollable:
Yeah.
healthcare, taxes, other things like medical bills, things that can change your quality of life in a blink.
Hmm.
And so what I see is the dedication of the owners of small businesses that treat their employees like families. That's what I see.
Yeah.
And Nouse Foods was a grower owned cooperative, so they were comprised of family growers. There are many in this area that are Nouse growers. And I see that. The apple crop may have some issues this
I
year
saw that
because of the
because of the
freeze. But
freeze.
these are the family owners of small businesses who will need to care for their trees in the same efficient way as if they have a bumper crop.
Mm-hmm.
So the investment is there in their business, like small businesses in the communities. Um, I'm constantly amazed at how people stay in business.
Yeah.
Stay. I mean, I know what my budget was corporately. It was huge, but not like the small business budget who counts every expenditure, no waste. I mean, I have even talked to people that would say to me, how do I monitor this? What can I do? What
Hmm.
from your background would help me understand? And I have helped people understand, like waste management, what is thrown away, like efficiency and time management,
Yeah. It's
how much
huge.
time is dedicated. And it's not like an efficiency expert. It is something that if you have a budget at home and you can't figure out where your money goes, the best way to figure it out is to journal for a month
Yeah.
of it. This is like homework
Mm-hmm.
to some people.
Yeah.
And understanding finance is surprising. It is very surprising where your money goes.
It is.
It
Yeah,
is.
you have to monitor every penny. I I I know people probably think I'm ridiculous, but I sit down once a week and I project a couple months out what's coming in, what needs to go out, and shift my money all around. And I look at every single expense and I'm like, is there something I can do to cut here? Do I switch from a monthly payment to an annual payment to save 25%? Is it
Hmm.
worth the hit now, but it saves more money later? Like, you have to pinch every penny.
I
Uh,
commend you on that because that is a huge management skill.
mm, Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations on knowing what that is
W-
because it's new.
Yeah.
It's a new concept to some people.
It is. Well, I don't think I was always that way. I think it took the time of my business where I was really struggling and didn't know if I could continue to, oh my gosh, I have this much going out in the coming week. Do I have enough to come in to cover that? What do I need to do to make it happen? So it forced me to start slowing down and
Hmm.
at a week at a time. What's going to come in and go out this week? What do I need to move around to make that happen? So I think it was a learned it was kind of forced upon me, but yeah, I taught myself, and I think it has been valuable. It's time consuming, but it's worth it.
It
And
is worth it.
I don't know if you heard my episode. Actually, the book's right here. Um, Profit First. Have you read this before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so the
Hmm.
profit first model really helped me with the finances for the business as well, and making sure I was paying myself first, and I set aside profit because I don't know where the money was going otherwise. If I didn't, it's kinda like, the envelope system from back in the day, so the money comes in and
Yes.
what percentage goes to each, it's that
Hmm.
same kinda thing, but now there's an account that's just a profit account, and money goes into that, and I pretend it doesn't exist, and I don't touch it unless there's an emergency, whereas before, everything went into the expense account, it inflated what I thought I had to work from, and then there was no profit at the end of the year, so,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, Jay Foreman is with Laurel Ridge,
Mhm.
Lord Fairfax.
Yeah. I
And
will never get used to that.
no, me either. I had to give that a pause there.
Yeah.
And the workforce community and the classes that they have and
Mhm.
the resource that they are and that he is amazing.
Yeah.
And I recommend that. I highly recommend a call there because
Mhm.
there are free services that can help people. Sometimes the businesses, and I've had this shared with me, mostly because I'm a constant face. Oh, I see you. You must have an answer. You must have a
Mm.
resource,
Mhm.
which, as I said earlier, even if I don't know, I will try to find out.
Yeah.
They are a great resource
Yeah.
and can help people plan,
Mhm.
understand their business because they're so busy working that they don't understand what's coming in and out the door
Yep.
because they're probably working on short staff,
Mhm.
family, and friends, and making sure everything is presentable for the business to be operating. And they are a great resource. Jay
Yeah.
is just exemplifies the community. We are good friends, and I it's like who feeds the feeder. We're
Mhm.
like feeding off of each other. It's the greatest thing when I have that hour. Yes, Jay, I'm talking about you moment. That's where we need this. We need
Mhm.
these collaborative moments with people who understand where our heart is.
Yeah.
And it's in the community. And thank you for making this visible because we want people to be successful. Again, back to your point, we support small business so that we will have it
Yeah.
and that it will be strong
Mhm.
and prosper because
Mhm.
it's not just a small business, it is a family, it is a dream, it is a legacy.
Yeah.
Another shameless point here. Patty Solenberger and I are good friends,
Yeah.
and they have generational people in business. 138 years
It's
of that,
crazy.
which when we talk about family and business, they want their family to thrive and prosper and be a service in the community, to be an essential part. And every small business in our town wants to be essential.
Yeah.
We had the greatest conversation with Saber and I did with Need Bread.
Mm.
That is a latent need. You
Yeah.
you go by and you look in the case and you know there's something there you want,
Yeah.
and yet they're filling that spot. And the GW, of course, is next door. What a wonderful location.
Mhm.
A shout out to Susie Smith, GM. So there are friends everywhere, and I just feel so privileged to hear about their success or
Mhm.
pray about their special need to fill a spot. And I believe in that. I believe God hears every prayer I pray.
Mhm.
And whenever we ask for wisdom and knowledge and understanding heart, we will have that.
Yeah.
And I will be quiet and listen to what people are trying to say.
Mhm. Well, I love that you said that about praying for them too, because
Hmm.
people always go back to they don't have the time to do the things and help the people in the way that they want. Well, you could always pray for them.
We can always pray for them.
It doesn't cost anything.
No,
Just and the social media shares, right? When you see something like need bread,
very good
they've got,
point.
you know what I
Yes.
mean? It doesn't cost anything. Just hit the share button.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to help, and I always want to make sure people don't immediately discount. I'm too busy. There's nothing I can do to connect or uplift people in the way Della is talking about. Well, yeah, you kind of can.
Yes, you kind of can. Yes, you can.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. This has been helpful. Any final words of wisdom, tidbits before we close it up today? I know we always like to leave folks with a branching out challenge, which is what do we want to challenge people to do based on what they heard? What is that for you? What do you want to challenge every listener to do?
I would say show up, and that could take on whatever it needs to be for you.
Hmm.
Like we're showing up at Bro Bears and we're spreading the joy. We're showing up at Handy Mart and
Hmm.
we're sharing ourselves. We're being involved even in small ways, even at Watts. 1 hour volunteering is just 1 hour.
Yeah.
And whenever we mentor our children and our grandchildren, we are showing up and investing. And all of us can do that, even in the smallest ways. We
Hmm.
volunteer at church, we volunteer at civic leagues, we volunteer even cleaning or helping an elderly person. Everybody knows someone that needs a little bit of joy that day.
Yeah.
And once you listen, you'll find out there may be more.
Hmm.
How can I help you? What is this resource? You're a veteran. Can I help you find this information? Or you're in need of a medical service. How can I help you? Our health. I'm off on a
Yeah.
rabbit trail again.
It's okay.
Our
It's
health.
because there are so many,
There are
so many places.
so many and so many services that we didn't even know of,
Hmm.
for children, for adults, for the needy. And yes, all we have to do is show up. If we want to make an impact, we can. If we want to be an influence, we can. I think
Yeah.
that's what I would
I
I
love
would
it.
leave.
That's a great way to close. So Della says, just show up.
Show up.
Awesome. Well, thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Sierra.
being here and spending this time with me. Just another way that you're supporting people in the community. I appreciate all you've done to support me.
Thank you.
Thanks for showing up.
Yes,
And I look forward to seeing you at the Tri State Leadership Summit.
I'll be there. Uh,
Awesome.
Thank you, Sierra.
Yeah, thank you.
My
And
pleasure.
and thank you for listening through to the end of the episode. We hope you found value and share this with someone else as well if you think they would benefit from hearing how they can show up, how they can connect and uplift people as well. As always, we put out another episode on Fridays at noon Eastern Standard Time. So be sure to subscribe so you're getting those notifications and that shows up right in your inbox or right on your phone. We're also looking for sponsors as we head into almost our third season. I can't believe we've been doing this really close to 2 years every week, putting content out there and hoping that it just impacts one person. So let us know if this has had an impact for you. We want to hear from you. Send us a message at info@branchingoutpodcast.com if you're interested in sharing a challenge you're facing and you want us to unpack that for you, or let us know if you'd like to be a guest. Until next time, keep branching out. Before we wrap up today's episode, I want to take a moment to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to spend your time here. I don't take that lightly, and I'm really grateful you're a part of this community. If something from today's conversation resonated with you, I want to encourage you to do a couple of things. First, take one small step. Not everything, just one. Growth doesn't come from hearing more, it comes from applying what you already know. And second, share this episode with someone who could benefit from it. These conversations are meant to spark growth, and you never know who might need to hear exactly what you just heard. If you haven't already, be sure to follow or subscribe to Branching Out with Sierra so you don't miss future episodes. And if you believe in this mission, helping people apply leadership skills to everyday life, and you're interested in supporting the podcast through sponsorship or collaboration, I'd love to connect. You can find more information in the show notes or reach out directly. And a quick note before we close, this podcast is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. While we share insights and experiences to support your growth, it's always important to apply what fits your situation and seek professional guidance when needed. And finally, I want you to hear this. No matter where you are on your journey, whether you're leading a team, growing a business, navigating change, or just trying to show up better each day, you are exactly where you need to be to take your next step. And you have the ability to positively influence others in every interaction you have. I'm rooting for you. I believe in your growth, and I'm here to support you along the way. Thanks for being here.